Welcome back to Make the Machines. On today's episode, we're going to be continuing on with the rust repair. So last episode we took out all the suspension on this side, other than our stabilizing bar, our sway bar, and our steering stabilizing bar. Which that's just the bolt I'm going to shoot off. More importantly, where we get to is all of this front corner frame here. So this here is my battery box bracket, which is gotta make a new one of those. Gotta fold it out of the way for now. I took out the spot welds right here for now. Might have to do a little bit more on that. So I took out the spot welds down this side, so I like to keep this shape and corner. And you see here I got my lines cut out, at least for this whole entire section here that I got to replace, because all the bottoms here are rotting out. You know, it's rotting out, and all the front over here is rotting out. So you cut out all this. I got to make a new little square for there, and then I got to cut out a frame here. So first I'm going to cut out all this, get rid of all that, so then I'm just down to my frame. But before I do all that, I measured everything out. So this is my frame piece here. So I got to measure where my holes are. Got everything made on that. And then the next piece, so I got everything measured. I got all my little blueprints, so I know what all the measurements are at. Everything's gonna look like, where everything goes back to. And that's all set up, so now I'm ready to cut it all out and get it removed. That's what we're going to be working on. So let's get to it. Just using a danger disc to cut it out. Nothing special. So I cut up to my tower here, my strut tower. Then I'm going to use the little die grinder blade to cut out the rest, just ever so slightly, so I'm not cutting into the tower at all, hopefully. And then from there I'll use my air hammer to knock out the rest of it. So we got the outside here cut off. See here, you know, I got all the rust. Front corner here is pretty much gone. Yeah, center here it's gone. Pretty much the only reason it's still has a piece here is because it's on top of that bracket there. So one good little knock there, and this would have ripped out the whole entire corner of my suspension and everything. That's why we're fixing it first. Now backside is pretty wasted. So we're gonna see how far back it goes. I think it's probably only that far there. And then make a whole new piece all right there. So I'm pretty much here ready to cut out the C section here. And you see I actually cut back a lot further here than I wanted to. Originally I only wanted to cut to like right here. But it's rotten all the way back here, so I'm going to cut it off right here. Separate it from my tower and everything else. And then I'm going to grind off the bottom there on these two for these brackets here and here and here. That's going to take out the rest of the bottom. So I'm going to cut there. I'm going to cut that little section there, so I go around the tower, cut all that out, get that all removed, and then I'll clean up the rest of what's left there, and then just knock off what's rough. And the few spots that are left in the front there, and we'll be out and ready. Got all the old stuff out. Just gotta take off the few little torn pieces of metal, clean it up a little bit, get it all ready to get the new one put on. But before I do that, I've got to make a new one. And now you can buy pieces to fit all in there. You get a whole new frame for like 200 bucks. They're not too bad, but that's just a whole lot more work. All that back here is fine. It's just, well, truthfully, you really should just replace the whole thing, because once it gets that internal damage in like that, it just rots out from the inside, and then like this bolt here for this cross member there. If I want to take that out right now, that would not come out. Would definitely not come out. But I'm going to give it to my brother. I'm going to give him all my measures that I need, and he's going to be making it at his work where they have a nice CNC brake and everything else they could use there. And he's going to make me a new one. A new piece to fit in. And then he's going to be using the machine that you've seen before of the brake to make a new C channel, and then the new face plate. Then the air hammer takes everything out, but it does have a tendency to bend stuff up, especially when it's already weakened from being rusted out. So all I gotta do is straighten it out some, little hammer and flat piece, knock it all back together, clean up when I, like I said, clean up the rust, what's left over, get it all ready and shiny and new and ready for the new piece to set in there, weld it all in, and get her done. So the next day or two, we have my brother make a new one and be putting the new one on. So until then, I'll be back. Alright, last thing you saw is took out my frame piece here. See, it's all lovely and gone. I cleaned everything up, straightened it all back out, so now I got a nice correct surface to weld it, put the new one in, and here's my new one. Well, I got spots drilled in the back here, ready for spot welds. It fits right in there. Hammer perfectly. It is a little bit thicker material, so it's a little off on the edge here, but that's expected. It's a little thicker. Use some self tappers. I'm gonna throw them in the few holes I got to make sure everything sticks in there before I weld it up. So yeah, everything is all set and ready. Everything's pretty lined up, pretty close. Just gotta pull this up and suck this over a little bit more in order to get it all done. Alright, so did the last little fitments to it. It's all set up there and ready to be welded in now. I use self tappers to get everything in there tight. I got a little too big of a gap here in the top here, but that's from when I cut it. Like you see, everything pretty much lines up perfectly right where it's supposed to be. Comes out, you know, exactly where it's supposed to be. This I need to lift up on a little bit. I'm going to tack that in. All my brackets are back where they're supposed to be. Just need to weld it all in now. So I'm going to weld in the back here. And then we do my spot welds. And then get ready to put my front plate on. Alrighty, so this is my inner C channel all welded in now. All I gotta do is clean up this edge here, this edge here, so I can put my outer plate on. So I can put the outer plate right on the edges there. and get that one a little welded up. Before I gotta do that, I got to put my holes where they gotta go for this. And I also gotta make another little bracket on the back side here that holds 2 nuts, so I can bolt my bumper on when it comes time for that. That's all I gotta do there, and we'll get her in. I got my next piece, got my outer L piece out here, ready to go in. Just gave it a nice coat of a primer for the inside of it, so I don't have to worry about rusting up too much in there. Now, I got all my spot weld holes drilled out. Oh, I gotta put my nuts on. I forgot about that. Got ahead of myself. Alright, so I made this little piece here, reinforced this side right here, put the nuts on this. This is for my bumper. It originally had a bracket that went back here and did something and connected to the front there, but as that was completely rotted out and gone, I had no idea how that went. So this was my solution for it. I just did the bracket, or this bar, you know, line it up, drill the holes through it, and that's what I'm using. The reason I'm doing that, instead of just weld the nuts straight to this piece, that's for my bumper, which has some leverage where it'll just play on one of these holes. I can easily just break off that hole or run out that one hole. Alright, so with it welded to this one, which is connected to this one, it makes it a little bit more stronger, adds more stout. And that's what I was looking, that's what I needed. Alright, got it all welded in. Everything's all welded up. Looks pretty good. All I gotta do now is just hit it with the flapper wheel. Knock down the welds, make it all flat. You know, look like it was never touched before. You know, it'll be beautiful. Only people that know the difference are those that are very keen on it, and people that seen this video. Let's get it knocked down and get it painted. So I grabbed the grinder, got everything whacked down. All looks pretty good. So all looks good, just got one little spot right there, but nothing to do about that. And then you'll see the weld inside there, but I can't get the grinder thing in there to flatten that out, so that's just gonna have to be what it is. And with that, I'm ready to paint it all. Running out of paint towards the end there. But everything's got a healthy little coat on it. I shouldn't have painted up here because I still got to put my fender apron there. I think that's what's called. I don't remember. There we are. Yeah, take a look there. And look on the other side. Can't even tell the difference. So with that, got it all done. Next video I'll be doing all of my, I'll be putting in a new panel here, replacing this. Really should replace the bottom lip here because that's connected there. But we'll get there when we get there. And with that, thank you for watching. And also, as you'd be so kind to like, comment, subscribe, and on to the next video. Thank you, and see you then.